have the best advice for women in business.
Get your fucking ass up and work.
The layoffs are already piling up.
Alphabet is laying off employees from several teams in Google's cloud unit.
The company laying off about 3.5% of its total headcount.
It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
I see this happen all the time. I just didn't think it would happen to me, but I just got laid off.
I just got laid off.
I busted my ass and I was just laid off.
Yesterday, I was laid off from my full-time job.
So I just got laid off.
I just found out that I was laid off.
My entire team got laid off from Google.
The unemployment rate rose again for a fourth straight month.
The tech industry continued its wave of layoff.
These companies do not care about us.
All those open job postings that you see online might not even be real.
Only to receive an average of 4 callbacks or responses.
Nobody wants to work these days.
They don't want to work no more. They're lazy.
Job seekers' search intensity in the U.S. grew by 27%.
It isn't to get rich. So $5 million is chump change.
According to new federal data, a record number of people are now unhoused.
Rental prices are unaffordable for a record number of Americans.
Rent has increased by more than 30%.
Why is everything so expensive?
How are people surviving nowadays? Everything is so goddamn expensive.
Get your fucking ass up and work.
Y'all smell something burning? I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling a little burnt out. Okay, so this is a topic that I've been a little hesitant to make a video about, but I have a lot on my mind and I had to quit therapy because it is now $90 a session. So this is my new outlet. Love inflation. I also just got laid off, so I no longer fear that my boss is gonna see this video because, hey, I don't have one. Yes, thank you. Thank you, feels great. All I've been hearing nowadays is, oh, your generation is so lazy and you just want to slack off. No one wants to work these days. When in reality, it's more like no one wants to be a glorified slave to a company that doesn't give a shit about them and get paid less than a living wage these days. It's about people realizing their worth, prioritizing their mental health, and being realistic when it comes to their finances and their income. What companies are offering and what they expect, it doesn't add up. And the worst part is, we were psychologically conditioned to be obedient workers from when we were a kid. We went to school for 8 hours a day where our schedule was planned out for us. And we were punished if we dare challenge the tasks that were forced upon us. Our entire childhood development was based off of what do you want to be when you grow up? Instead of, what makes you happy right now? What are you interested in? We were brought up to believe, oh, you can be anything when you grow up. We were taught enough, but we weren't taught about taxes or finances or investing, actual skills that would help us be a little bit more financially stable. And I feel like that's on purpose. And I do want to also clarify that this is not an attack on people who enjoy working a 9-to-5 or office job. I get that some people do genuinely enjoy what they do and are satisfied with what they make at an office job. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with a 9-to-5 per se. However, as someone who just got laid off, I do have a bit of a bias because my experience was not that great. Not a fan. I saw a TikTok earlier that said,
so you're telling me there's billions of planets, galaxies, and stars and I ended up on the one with a 40-hour work week?
Like what? Like I'm supposed to just work some unfulfilling mundane job for 50 years to make someone else rich until I retire and then I can start living? What sense does that make? Because I'd probably be too mentally and physically exhausted for working the past 50 years doing something that, hey, wasn't that fulfilling or meaningful? And, a lot of people argue, oh, well then just do something you enjoy doing. Hey, hello, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing right now. So, hey, I'm trying here. I'm trying to make my passion my career, but I just don't understand where the line is where some people can just make millions of dollars doing fun things and then other people just have to bust their ass to make $60K a year. Not to mention that most standard jobs are just one big pyramid scheme. You hear all about Amway and Herbalife and Cutco, those pyramid schemes where if you just sell the product and then bring people to join your team and then hire people under you and then have them hire people under them to sell their product and then you can win a trip to the Bahamas. Yeah, I've been to an Amway conference in high school. I was targeted. You hear about those pyramid schemes all the time, but that 9-to-5 that's paying you $60K a year is making your boss $90K a year, who's making his boss $120K a year, and so on, just for there to be a CEO making $10 million a year. Huh? Excuse me, sir. I just want a little bit more bread. I have this crumb, but you know, I'm kind of hungry. Could I please get some more? No. That's what I think of CEOs. And here's a little fun fact for you. In 2023, the CEO to worker ratio for salary was 268 to 1. So let's do some good old math. So let's say we'll do a low salary because hey, it's a fucking America. So we have 40,000 times 268. That's $10,720,000. And 268 to 1 is just the average ratio. Let's take a look at some individual companies, shall we? So I did it for the highest pay ratio. The first thing that comes up is New Skin Enterprises. I don't even know what that is. But Ryan Napierski is the CEO, and he makes 10,377 times its median employees' pay for the first fiscal year ending in 2023. How do you compare? So let's say you make $70,000 a year. This man can support 83 workers earning your salary and benefits, and 94 earning the average US worker's income. All right, let's do Apple. Tim Cook. He makes 672 times employees' median pay. Let's do 80,000 this time. His total compensation could support 790 workers. Microsoft. 250 times its median employees' pay. You see what I'm saying? These ratios are weird. Are they not? Now I understand the person who maybe invented the company or started it, owns it, or is the CEO, whatever the CEO does. I don't even know what a CEO does, but I think, yeah, they should get paid more than the intern that just started last week. And maybe people look at these numbers and they're like, yeah, that makes sense. But me personally, I have a problem with these ratios. And I also have a problem with the fact that the cost of living continues to skyrocket. Meanwhile, salaries are just kind of like chilling. So no, I don't want to work if I'm going to be making 268th of what the CEO of the company is going to be making. They're just like, 50K? Come on over. We got pizza. We're a family, but we don't have health insurance, so figure that out. And I'm also expected to work overtime, but not get paid overtime, of course, because you should just want to work more. Get treated like garbage by my micromanager, and not knowing if I'm ever going to be able to buy a house. But yeah, no, we're all just lazy. We don't want to do anything. I'm just so lazy. I don't want to do anything. Now that brings me to hustle culture. Gross. Sorry I said that. Now, I would be lying if I said I didn't give in to the ideals of hustle culture a few years ago. I didn't really know any better, honestly. Like I said, I was conditioned to be a worker. So when I started to hear basic hustle speakers like Gary Vee talk about spending every waking second working towards being a millionaire and working hard, I felt very inclined to become obsessed with working and making money. At the time, I was fresh out of college, very ambitious. I had the whole world ahead of me. My soul was not drained by corporate America yet. I worked 3 jobs, plus did various side hustles. And trust me, I'm not saying this to like flex or brag or anything, because I was goddamn exhausted. But I thought this is what I needed to do. And I got praised for it. Every time I would tell people, oh, I have 3 jobs and I do this on the side and do this, everyone's like, oh my God, that's so great. Is it? I guess. My happiness and mental health was not even in question at the time. And don't get me wrong, I am all for, self-discipline and working hard towards something that you are wanting to achieve or working towards your goals. Like, I'm all for that, for real. But there does need to be a point where you allow yourself to just chill out, Once I developed this no days off mindset, I would struggle to let myself, take an hour break or take a vacation or do literally anything that isn't about making money or being productive or contributing to my personal development. Yeah, that's capitalistic brainwashing for you. And it's not that healthy. And even now, because I didn't mention it enough, being laid off, I haven't worked for 3 weeks. It's driving me fucking nuts. At first I had no motivation to do anything, and then I felt guilty for not having motivation to do anything. And I'm like, maybe I am a lazy piece of shit who just doesn't want to work. But then I'm like, no, I'm actually burnt the fuck out from this horrible corporate experience I just had for the past 4 years. Everyone keeps telling me to enjoy this time and take time for myself and to take care of myself. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here like, I need to work. I need to make money, hustle, grind. What do I do? It's been hard to just even relax now because I've had this belief system of you can't be lazy, you know, you can't take breaks, no days off. Even though I logically don't find that to be what I want to believe, it's something that I've done for so long that it's just like instilled within me. So I'm trying to like force myself to just relax and do things that make me happy. And why is that so hard? Why is that so hard for me to do? I don't know. Now every time I see one of those toxic hustle culture bros pop up on my feed talking about, I don't sleep, I put in the work, I wake up at 3 a.m. and get shit done, blah 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 blah. Like, congrats, bro. You want a cookie? Probably not, because cookies are probably too enjoyable for your lifestyle that has sugar in it. God forbid we eat a sugar. Here's a piece of celery instead. And I used to feel intimidated seeing these types of speeches or videos, but now I just kind of feel a little sorry for those people. I don't care how loud you yell at me, how much you repeat yourself, or how much you try to convince me that you love your lifestyle, because I think you're trying to convince yourself more, to be real. Or wait, maybe hustle bros know something that we don't. Maybe they're onto something. Let's find out. Yes, we're gonna be looking at some hustle bros on TikTok. My phone was upside down. We're gonna be looking at some hustle bros on TikTok and see what advice we can gain from them. And who knows, you know, maybe we'll be jacked billionaires by the end of this. Cause hey, if it's one thing about a hustle bro, he's gonna work out and he's gonna grind. And he's gonna hustle. And that's just like me. I grind all the time. I grind in my sleep, my teeth. I grind my teeth at night sometimes, and it's kind of concerning. I don't want to develop anything. I grind when I eat the food in my mouth because I'm chewing it. I grind at the club on my man because why not? Always grinding.
The biggest lie that young people get told is that when you're 18, 19, 20, that's when you're supposed to be having all your fun. You're supposed to go out and party and do all the fun stuff. It's when you have the most freedom. It's when you don't have as much responsibility. So you should go out and you should have fun. That is bullshit. When you're young, that is when you can do the most. When you can work the hardest, sleep the least, and focus on as few things as possible.
Yeah, so instead of spending your college years actually enjoying them and having fun, just fucking work instead. Why would you spend your younger years having fun and living your life when you could be grinding? I am dog sitting, by the way, and if you hear a dog chewing on a bone, there's a dog chewing on a bone. Alright, jump scare, guys. Jump scare warning.
Work, I mean, you just have to put
Told
in, you know, 80 to 100 hour weeks every week. I mean, if other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, even if you're doing the same thing, you know that in 1 year you will achieve what they achieve. You will achieve in 4 months what it takes them.
There's 168 hours in a week. I'm doing a lot of math in this video. 100 divided by 5. Let's say we're only working 5 days a week like the average person. That's 20 hours a day. Let's do 7. 100 divided by 7. That's 14 hours a day, every day. See, why does it have to result to that? I don't think that everyone should have to work 100 hours in order to be successful. That's just my opinion. But if people want to do that, sure, go ahead, you freak. I'm beginning to think people like Elon Musk are actually robots because of how associated he is with them. I'm like, and he's naming his kids ZYXW. Maybe he is a robot.
My strength is this. I will never fucking quit. And I will work harder than fucking you every fucking day. You might be smarter than me. You might have more resources than me. I don't know. You might be fucking Nike and be 50 years ahead. But I promise you, I am working fucking harder than you every fucking day.
The reason I'm strong is because I fucking work fucking hard every fucking day, motherfucker. I'm fucking Nike. I'm fucking Nike right after this. Nike's coming over, I'm gonna stick my dick in my shoe. Like, goddamn. Adding the word fucking between every word does not get your point across any more than it would be if you just didn't, you know? And that's coming from someone who cusses a lot. I cuss a lot. I don't even notice when I do it, and then I'll be editing my videos and I'm like, why did I cuss so much in this video? What was the point of that? Let's be honest. You can work harder. That's it. Again, there's nothing wrong with discipline and working hard towards something that you want. But if I'm just chilling I'm trying to relax and I see this shit pop up on my For You page. I'm like, no, I'm resting.
If you are a person that is not happy or is depressed and you can't get up to, don't have that drive to work, if you're faking that you're happy and you are at least putting out that energy that you are happy, you will feel that. You will get there.
Right. So if I'm just depressed, per se, there's like chemical imbalances going on in my brain because that's what depression is. If I just get up and be like, hey, you know what? I'm actually feeling happy today. Even if I'm feeling like absolutely dreadful inside. But hey, you know, I'll just pretend to be happy and then I'll just feel better. I too would also say that if I had millions of dollars to just lay in, you know? If I could just take a quick little trip to Bali or Ibiza or wherever people go on vacations who are rich. If I was making money doing something that I actually love, I would totally be happier and less depressed. So yeah, totally see why a rich white woman would say that. That's not real advice. Sorry. I've tried faking it until you make it, and it just doesn't work if you're actually dealing with a mental illness, depression, anxiety, you know? You can't just be like, oh, okay, I feel happy, 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 I feel happy. You're just sitting there lying to yourself and you feel dumb and you feel even worse. So, fuck you. I don't like the Kardashians.
All these lazy people, they don't want to work no more. They lazy. They are fucking lazy themselves. They just sit home, all they worry about, play PlayStation, eat chips, and sit over there complain about somebody, oh, fuck you, you lazy. Bitch, you lazy motherfucker. I'm not lazy motherfucker. I got a lot of shit going on for myself. What you have going on for yourself? Wallah, they have nothing going on except a fucking PlayStation and an Xbox. Sitting in the corner and eating popcorn and fucking Wingstop.
Hashtag rich, hashtag success, hashtag how to become rich, hashtag money, hashtag rich life, hashtag quote, hashtag like goal, hashtag rich financial freedom. Don't play video games. What if I want to be a streamer? Actually, a video game streamer. Then what? I don't know. He seems very personally offended by someone specific, so I don't know who he's talking to.
Normalize calling out your friends on their shit. If my friend is getting lazy, I'll tell him. If he's a slave to his girlfriend, I'll tell him. And I expect the same back. Real friends hold each other accountable.
If your friend is getting lazy, call them out. Like, hey, maybe check on them first. Maybe be like, hey, is everything good? Like, I noticed you aren't really taking care of yourself. Like, are you okay? Type shit. But then, like, if they're a slave to their girlfriend, that took a turn.
Never stop gambling, alright? You're one spin away from generational wealth. Just go to Vegas, and if you lose, just keep getting loans. Remember this. Just keep spinning, keep gambling, keep gambling.
This is dangerous as fuck. This is dangerous advice. I can't tell if this is real or if this is just like satire. I hope it's satire because what the fuck? Don't do that.
If I said I'll give you guys all $1 million cash right now, you guys would start to sit up in your chair and you start to smile a little bit. You start to be like, that's pretty good. Then I'd say, well, what if I gave it to you, but you couldn't wake up tomorrow? What would you say? You'd say, well, of course not. So you value waking up more than you do $1 million? Yeah, then why do you wake up like a little talking about thinking? If I said I'll give you.
What do you think about that, Ava? Do you think he's capping or he's for real? Yeah, Ava is not feeling that one. Neither am I. And the joke's on you because, hey, maybe I do want $1 million more than I want to wake up tomorrow. I'd be like, better ball out today.
There's a lot of people out there sold that life is hard. It's not easy getting rich. Dude, it is easy getting rich. Anyone can do it. It's not that difficult. But yes, it takes work. Yes, it takes action. Yes, it takes sacrifice. Yes, it takes a little suffering.
Yeah, getting rich is just so easy. Like, literally, I just poop and money comes out. All right, we're done with Brad.
5 reasons why you're always gonna be broke coming from a multi-millionaire. Number 1, you shop at Starbucks.
You shop at Starbucks? Starbucks is a coffee shop, no? Why does he make it sound like it's Target? Also, last I heard, everyone's like boycotting Starbucks, so I don't think that's really accurate to say right now.
2, you do not bring a lunch to work.
Yeah, if you go out to eat, that's why you're always gonna be broke. You have to go to the store and buy food instead and make a lunch instead of just going to buy lunch.
3, you live paycheck to paycheck.
Whose fault is that? If someone's living paycheck to paycheck, that's their own fault or that's the system that we're set up in.
4, you make your minimum payment on your credit card.
Okay, but your making a payment on a credit card at least. Better than not paying it, I suppose.
Last but not least, you buy liabilities, not assets.
It's clear that this guy has never really experienced not having money, so I will just take his opinion for what that is. These next few, I have a lot of this guy. We'll just take a look.
Fuck what other people are doing, dude.
Yeah.
You're poor. Your life is shit.
Right.
Who are you to sit on a pedestal, criticize other people's lives when your life is shambles? If your bank account isn't fucking ballin', then you should not be worrying about anything else except getting a fucking six-pack, getting your bank account secured, making sure your family's healthy, and that's fucking it.
It really be two dumb bitches with microphones saying exactly. That's what I think of when I see this. If your bank account's empty, you need to be worried about getting a six-pack.
Dude, you have no idea the level of wealth there is out there, and your pee-wee brain can't get it. It's okay. So $5 million is chump change. I see it as a stepping stone to what we're going to be doing in the future.
To say $5 million is chump change in today's economy is fucking nuts. I feel like people who talk like this like don't actually make that much money, to be honest. Like I feel like people who talk like this is just like to try to get other people hyped up, but I'm like, I don't believe you, really. There's just something about a white man with a microphone that I just don't really trust all the way, you know? This next one isn't really about hustle grind. This one just made me realize that this guy is kind of dumb.
You know that you can technically drive without a driver's license in the United States? I don't know about the rest of the world. Even the cops don't know this shit.
Even the cops who pull people over don't know this shit, and it's their job.
A driver's license is necessary for commercial travel. This is in law, federal law. If you're doing point A to point B leisure traveling, you technically do not need a driver's license, nor do you need license plates. Most of you guys do what you've been told since the moment you were born because that's all you know.
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? You see a car going down the street with no license plates, it's this guy. He gets pulled over. No, officer, you don't get it. I actually don't need license plates or a license. Like, it's the law. Get out of the car.
I want to get the fuck out of the Matrix. What do I do, realistically? What are my first steps?
Go do some push-ups. Push-ups? Yeah, go do some push-ups.
Say no more. That's the solution we've all been looking for. All we need to do is do push-ups. If we want to get rich, do push-ups. If we want to get healthy, do push-ups. If we want to solve world hunger, do push-ups. Okay? It's that simple. You want to get out of the Matrix? Do push-ups. We're thinking in 2050, okay? We're in the future, baby.
Do push-ups. Okay, you're a brokey. Okay, you could literally go and get a job at Buffalo Wild Wings or at McDonald's, or you could be intelligent and go get a job at the country club. You could go get a job at the high-end restaurant. Well, I don't know anything about wines. Well, go on fucking YouTube and learn about wines. Learn how to have a nice little British accent.
Fake a British accent and work at a fancy restaurant and talk about wine. Hello, mate, would you like some wine? You can take the horse to the pond, but you can't make it drink, is what I've always said.
Before I eat any meal, I do 50 push-ups.
Of course you do. He just lies. Last one of this guy, because I'm getting sick of his face. This is his steps to become rich.
1, go get spring water. Don't drink Dasani purified water. It's gonna fuck you up. 2, once you have a little bit of money, start eating super clean, super organic. Understand that the food that you consume has pesticides, has chemicals. You want to be eating nutritious whole foods, not processed foods, not garbage. You do not want to be using Teflon pans. They have forever chemicals. So get a cast iron. It costs you $20. Buy the cast iron. If you have an air fryer, don't use a microwave. Microwave, you're literally cooking your food. Cooking, killing all the good stuff in there, all the vitamins, all the minerals, is completely killing the food.
Are we talking about how to get rich or how to prevent cancer? Like, what are we talking about? That has nothing to do with money. That's spending money. He said, if you get a little money, start eating healthy. Like, you're supposed to be the one to okay.
My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago.
Dude in a cave 300 years ago? I don't think that was caveman times 300 years ago.
Easy way for you to get ahead is to work on the weekends. It's so simple because you have to think, like, here's my mindset, is like, who even created the idea of, like, resting?
That relatable moment when you just, like, don't fucking like weekends? Who invented fucking rest? Who invented recovery? That shit, beta. There's a couple more of him being like motivational.
Death before surrender. When you're willing to die for it. That's when you know it's serious.
He's right. I would rather kill myself working than give up and take a break, because breaks are for weak losers.
Why would you want anything less? Every single one of you.
Same song, by the way. Same music and same text, same outfit, same everything.
If you're wired like I imagine all men are wired, I don't look at myself as different than any single one of you. It's like this warrior type of wiring inside of you. You understand what I'm talking about? Like you think of yourself as like a warrior. Does anybody ever think like that? Like, man, I'm a warrior.
It pans to the audience. No, man, I actually don't know what you're talking about.
If you're wired like I imagine all men are wired, it's like this warrior type of wiring inside of you. You understand what I'm talking about?
No, I think I just have internal organs. I don't know about the warrior thing you're talking about. It's kind of weird. We have a couple more and then we're done because I just can't stand this much longer. This is called Why Cooking is for Brokies.
Uber Eats every day. I never cook. I keep an empty refrigerator. My dad's like, son, don't you think it'd be so much cheaper if you cooked? And I said, no, not really. I said, let's talk about that scenario. Calling the valet, getting downstairs in the elevator to valet, getting in the G-Wagon, burning fuel, sitting in traffic on Biscayne to go to Publix, trying to find a parking spot at Publix, getting out, looking around the store for what I want. Dude, I want fucking chicken or steak. Getting food. All the ingredients. Going home. Park again. Going out the elevator. Pop the pan out. It costs $8 a little bottle. Oh, clean the dishes. Clean the plates. Fucking nerd.
Oh, I clean my dishes, you fucking nerd. I cook and eat my food, you fucking loser. This is so contradictory because the other guy's like, you can't go out to eat, but this guy's like, you have to you Uber Eats because it'll save you time and money. Y'all are contradicting yourselves. Y'all all need to have a meeting and decide what the rules are for hustle culture. If you're gonna be a toxic hustle culture, bro, y'all all need to be on the same page because you're looking stupid. This is the last one.
If you're a guy in your 20s and you don't have a Lamborghini, you should actually sit down and have a serious discussion with yourself as to why you don't have a Lambo. 200 grand is chump change, and people will say I'm out of touch with reality, and they can suck it.
Yeah, people will say I'm out of touch with reality, but they can just suck it. I think that'll call it. That'll be it. So obviously, if we got anything from this, it is one thing, and that is push-ups. My name is Maddie, aka Maddie the Baddie, aka your new favorite YouTuber, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Oh my god. I'm gonna be so rich.